remember their dreams really well? Some people. I go through periods in my life where I remember them really well, and sometimes I don't remember them at all. And I know when I remember them less, and that's when I drink a lot of wine and a lot of coffee, which is really fun, right? But it really does not help the dreams. So if you want to focus on your dreams for a few weeks and for a few months, and try to stay away from alcohol and coffee. Give yourself 4 weeks at least that don't have any kind of substances in your body. You're going to see a beautiful difference in your dream memory. Also, of course, we talked about keeping a dream journal by your side, by writing them down and giving yourself the intention. Tonight, I'm going to remember my dreams and I'm going to write them down. The chances are higher that you will. You ask your dreams for guidance around particular areas of your life. That is called dream incubation. So before you go to bed at night, stick to one question though, I would say per night. Because we all know how confusing the dreams can be, right? So if we have several different questions going on, it will just be too quite confusing. So ask one question: what should I do about this situation? Please give me guidance about this person. And the dream will come true. And look at that dream and see what it has to tell you. Now, most likely when you wake up, you're going to think, oh, bummer, it didn't tell me any guidance. But when you write it down and start working with the dream, you're going to see some messages will start coming. So nightmares happen for a particular reason. It's an urgent cry for help. A very important message is trying to get through to you, but it's not. You're not getting the message. So most likely some kind of dreams have happened to you before. They were not nightmares, but they were escalating into being a little bit scary. And then they continue like that for a while. And then at one point they will turn into nightmares. Because at that point, you will wake up and you will be frightened and you will listen, right? There's no point but not to realize you've had a nightmare. First thing is to write down associations, write down the dream. So that can be really terrifying in itself, right? When you wake up and you feel frightened. The reason I have people do that and even desensitize it. By thinking about it and processing it, you desensitize the terror a little bit. And also you're giving your feelings the attention they really want. Because their feelings are there in the nightmare to be acknowledged. So also make associations. Let's say, for example, you dreamt about a scary man with yellow teeth. What associations do you make with those yellow teeth or scary men? Think about it. If the nightmare keeps coming back, there's a step you can do. You can re-enter your nightmare. So lie in bed or sit and meditate. And I always recommend just thinking good thoughts before you do that. You don't want to have any kind of negative energy around you. You can imagine, for example, that you're in a protective bubble of white light. And then start thinking about the dream and go in and imagine that you are in the dream. You don't actually have to dream. You can just imagine that you are in the dream again. And what would you say to the dream if you had it? What kind of questions would you be asking the dream? The dream will love it because the dream has come to you to communicate something, right? So you will get attention. If it still comes back, what you can do then is to decide to yourself, next time it comes into my life, I'm going to create a new ending. So decide what you want to have happen in the dream, create a new intention, and give yourself that intention. Now, even if it doesn't happen immediately, you'll have some kind of sense of power and control. Being chased in dreams has happened to everybody at some point, all right? We run and run and run and we get away from something. Now, think to yourself, what am I running away from? Am I running away from an aspect of myself that I am not aware of? Most likely, because most dreams are subjective, so they have to do with something that's going on within ourselves. But it could also be, of course, that it's a situation, maybe a very boring job, or a very angry boss, or a school, right? Or a situation in school that you just feel very uncomfortable about. And those kind of chasing dreams, they can very quickly escalate into nightmares. So it's important to kind of sit down and think about what's going on in your life and see how you can face the situation and deal with what it is that you're running away from.